Imagine for a moment that everything you want is already yours. Imagine that every desire you have, every dream you chase, is not distant, but present. What would happen if you believed that to be true not just once, but continuously, consistently, with unwavering faith? What if the secret to changing your reality was simply learning to hold the right image in your mind and your heart? Here is the technique I want to share with you today. It is not a mere idea or concept, it is a method you can practice, refine, and apply to create the life you want. It begins with the simple truth: your imagination is the key to your transformation. We live in a world that is governed not just by physical laws, but by laws of the mind, powerful, unseen forces that shape everything we experience. The external world is simply a reflection of the internal one. When you change your thoughts, you change your world. But to change those thoughts, you must first learn to work with your imagination. Consider this technique more closely. Begin by imagining that your desire, whatever it may be, has already come to pass. Don't think of it as something to achieve in the future. The future is a mere illusion. It is only a construct of the mind. The present moment, the now, is the only time that exists. When you imagine your desire as though it has already been realized, you must do so with full awareness, with intense feeling. Don't just see the end result in your mind's eye, feel it as though it is happening right now. If you desire a new home, feel the joy of walking through its door. Hear the sounds, see the details, and most importantly, feel the emotions that come with living in that space. If you want better health, imagine yourself in perfect health, feeling vibrant and strong. The key is in the emotion, the belief that this reality already exists right now. But don't just stop there. There's an important step you must take for this technique to work effectively: faith. Faith is not just a passive hope or wish. Faith is knowing that the image you have created in your mind is not merely an idea, but a reality unfolding. As you imagine your desire, believe that it is already done. Faith is the certainty that your imagination is not a fleeting fantasy, but a force with the power to bring about change. It is in this faith that you will begin to see the results of your technique. The trick is to persist. Do not waver. Your mind will try to doubt, your senses will tell you otherwise, but remember, faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. The power of this technique lies in its simplicity, but don't be fooled into thinking that simplicity means ease. It requires persistence. You will need to practice this technique, not just once or twice, but consistently, daily, with belief, with trust. In time, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in your external world. Opportunities will arise where there were none. Paths will open where they seemed closed. And though it may seem coincidental at first, the truth is, you are simply seeing the manifestation of your inner state in the outer world. You might ask, but why does it work this way? Why does imagination have such power? The answer is simple: we are not separate from the world around us. The mind and the world are one. Everything you experience is first created within your consciousness. You are not a passive observer of life, you are the creator of it. What you hold in your mind will ultimately shape your experience. This technique is not about forcing things into existence, nor is it about controlling every outcome. It is about realizing that you already have the power to bring your desires into reality simply by adjusting your inner perception. By focusing on the reality you wish to create, you allow it to unfold naturally in the world around you. The doubts will come. The world may not immediately reflect your new mental state, but that's where persistence and faith come in. You see, the world is not always quick to reveal the changes within it. But if you continue to imagine, continue to feel, continue to believe, the world will eventually match your inner vision. Let me remind you of this key point: you must act, yes, but your actions will be guided by the energy you emit, the vibration you set. When your thoughts and feelings are aligned with your desire, your actions will naturally follow. You will find yourself moving with greater ease toward what you have already imagined. So I ask you, why not try this technique? Begin now, right where. Imagination is often viewed as a simple, fleeting mental activity, something that children engage in, or that creative minds use to dream up stories or ideas. However, the true power of imagination extends far beyond mere fantasy. It is the very force that shapes reality, giving form to what was once considered impossible or unattainable. The ability to imagine is not just a mental exercise, but a profound act of creation. Every great achievement in history, every invention, and every success story began with someone imagining something that did not yet exist. But the difference between imagination and mere daydreaming is the focus and intention behind it. To begin with, imagination is not just about visualizing an object or goal, it is about experiencing the feeling associated with it. It is not enough to simply picture something in your mind, you must embody it, live it, breathe it, and truly believe that it exists. This form of imagination is more than a thought process, it becomes an emotional experience that engages every part of you. Imagine for a moment a person desiring a new career. The typical approach might involve a practical list of actions: updating a resume, sending out job applications, preparing for interviews. But the deeper power lies in how that person imagines the career, how they picture themselves in that new role, and more importantly, how they feel about it. If they imagine themselves succeeding, if they feel the joy and pride of being in that career, they are already taking the first crucial steps towards manifesting it. What many people fail to realize is that imagination is not a passive activity. It is an active force that influences every facet of our being. The way we imagine our world is directly connected to how we experience it. Our beliefs, desires, and expectations are shaped through the images we create in our minds. If you imagine scarcity, lack, or failure, that is exactly what you will encounter. On the other hand, if you choose to imagine abundance, success, and fulfillment, you are aligning yourself with those very experiences. This is why imagination is such a powerful tool. It not only allows us to create new realities, but also shifts our perception of the existing ones. The power of imagination lies in its ability to break through the limitations of the present moment. Often, our current reality can seem fixed, restricted by our circumstances or external conditions. However, imagination offers a way out. By engaging in vivid mental imagery, we create a bridge to a different reality, one where the constraints of time and space no longer apply. In this mental realm, there are no limits. You can imagine yourself as you wish to be, living the life you desire, achieving the goals you've set. This imaginative process acts as a seed planted in the mind, which eventually begins to take root in the physical world. The act of imagining, therefore, is not merely a thought exercise, but an invitation to become what you desire to be. Every moment you spend visualizing your desired outcome, you are aligning your thoughts and emotions with that reality. And with this alignment comes the incredible power to bring those thoughts and feelings into fruition. What you imagine is not just an abstract concept, it is the beginning of your creation, an inner blueprint that begins to manifest on the outside. Imagination allows us to step beyond the limitations of our current situation. It provides a space where we can envision what we want our lives to look like, unconstrained by the barriers we may face in the present moment. Through this process, we are not only envisioning a future goal, but also preparing ourselves to receive it by embracing the feelings and beliefs associated with it. Imagination becomes the spark that ignites the journey from where we are to where we want to go. Faith is a cornerstone of the technique I am presenting. It is not merely a passive hope or a fleeting wish, but an active force and unshakable confidence in the unseen, in the unknown, in the reality that has not yet been physically manifested. Faith is a belief so strong that it transcends all doubts, all limitations, and all contradictions that may arise in the material world. It is the assurance that the mental image you hold, the desire you nurture, will inevitably come to fruition. In order to truly grasp the power of faith, we must first understand that it is not the same as mere belief. Belief can be flimsy, shaped by circumstances, or subject to change. One may believe in something today and doubt it tomorrow, depending on what happens around them. Faith, however, is constant and unwavering. It is the certainty that what you imagine, what you envision, is already in the process of becoming your reality, even if the evidence in the physical world has not yet caught up to your mental state. To have faith means to trust in the process. It means trusting that the images you create in your mind are not just fleeting thoughts, but seeds that will eventually take root and grow into the reality you desire. Faith is the understanding that the imagination is not a random, unstructured part of the mind, but a powerful force capable of bringing about transformation. When you visualize your desired outcome, when you feel the emotions as if it has already occurred, you are planting the seed of faith. Faith is the soil in which this seed can grow and blossom into tangible form. The power of faith lies in its ability to transcend the present reality. It requires no evidence from the world to validate its existence. Faith operates on the principle that reality is not fixed, and that you are capable of changing it through focused intention and belief. It is through this unwavering faith that you can move mountains, manifest your desires, and bring into being the things that seem impossible. Consider the process of creation itself. Before anything can be seen, it must first be imagined. And before it can be imagined, it must be believed to be possible. Faith is what allows you to bridge that gap between what is and what could be. Without faith, the imagination would be a useless tool. But when you trust that what you imagine is real, your faith gives power to the image, and the image in turn shapes your reality. Faith does not require constant mental effort or anxious thinking. It is a calm, deep assurance, and knowing that what you desire is already on its way. It is the quiet confidence that the forces of the universe are working in your favor, aligning themselves to bring you the fulfillment of your vision. Faith allows you to release resistance and surrender to the process, trusting that what you have asked for is already in the works. It is the ultimate demonstration of trust in the unseen forces that govern creation. When you have true faith, you are no longer at the mercy of circumstances or appearances. You become the master of your experience. Because you are not moved by what you see, you are guided by what you believe. Faith is what keeps you moving forward, even when the path ahead seems unclear. It is what enables you to persevere, to hold on to the image of your desired outcome, despite temporary setbacks or delays. This kind of faith is not blind, it is a conscious choice. It is an active decision to trust in the power of your own mind, in the process of creation, and in the certainty that your desires are in alignment with the natural flow of life. With unwavering faith, you can rest assured that everything you need to bring your vision into reality is already within your grasp. Self-reflection and awareness are foundational to this technique because they allow you to understand the mechanics of your own thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. The practice of self-awareness involves becoming keenly attuned to the patterns of your mind and recognizing the impact these patterns have on the reality you experience. It is not enough to simply wish for a change or imagine a different reality. You must first be conscious of the state of your current mindset, as it is from this state that everything flows. The act of reflecting on oneself opens the door to understanding the beliefs, attitudes, and habits that govern your behavior. By looking inward, you begin to identify limiting thoughts or negative beliefs that might be holding you back from achieving your goals. It is important to examine not only your conscious thoughts but also the subconscious beliefs you carry, as these are the ones that often have the most influence on your actions and results. Self-awareness means becoming familiar with the thoughts that arise automatically and acknowledging the emotions they evoke. It means paying attention to recurring thoughts or mental patterns that may reflect doubt, fear, or inadequacy. By cultivating this awareness, you can start to challenge and shift these patterns, replacing them with more empowering beliefs. For example, if you frequently catch yourself thinking, I will never be successful. Take note of this thought and question its validity. Ask yourself, why do I believe this? Or where did this belief come from? Through self-reflection, you will begin to realize that many of the beliefs you hold are not inherent truths, but learned patterns that can be changed with effort and awareness. Self-reflection also involves recognizing how your thoughts influence your emotions. Often we overlook how deeply our emotional states are tied to the mental images we carry. If you habitually think of yourself as unsuccessful, your emotions may be colored by feelings of frustration or helplessness. On the other hand, when you intentionally focus on thoughts of success or abundance, your emotions will begin to shift accordingly. This emotional awareness is crucial, as emotions are the language of the subconscious mind. The more aligned your emotional state is with the vision you wish to create, the stronger your internal power becomes in manifesting that vision. The key aspect of self-awareness is identifying the small actions or behaviors that reinforce your beliefs. For instance, if you believe that you are unworthy of success, you may subconsciously engage in self-sabotaging behaviors, such as procrastinating or not taking opportunities that come your way. These behaviors are often the result of deep-seated beliefs that need to be examined and released. By bringing these patterns into your awareness, you can begin to consciously choose actions that align with the vision you are trying to create. Self-awareness also helps you monitor the progress of your practice. As you work with this technique, it is essential to observe the shifts in your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Are you becoming more confident in your ability to achieve your desires? Are you noticing moments when your beliefs about yourself or your circumstances are shifting? These insights can guide you in refining your practice, ensuring that you are continually moving closer to your goal. Being self-aware also involves understanding the role of your imagination in this process. As you reflect on the thoughts and beliefs you hold, consider whether they are serving your goals or hindering them. This understanding allows you to actively direct your imagination toward more productive and supportive mental imagery, which in turn can accelerate the manifestation of your desires. Visualization is not merely a mental exercise, it is a profound tool that shapes the fabric of our experiences. It serves as a blueprint for the reality we wish to create, tapping into the power of the mind to guide us toward our desired outcomes. Visualization allows us to see and feel the future we want, even before it manifests in our tangible world. By focusing on specific images and sensations, we are able to cultivate a mental and emotional state that aligns with our deepest desires. Visualization is about using the imagination to create a vivid, detailed picture of what we want. This is not just about thinking of a desired outcome in vague terms, but about constructing a rich sensory experience. When we visualize, we bring to life every aspect of our goals, whether it's a new career, a flourishing relationship, or physical health. The more real we can make this mental picture, the more effective our visualization becomes. It's about engaging all of our senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch in order to fully immerse ourselves in the experience. For example, if you are visualizing success in your career, don't just picture yourself in a new office or position. Imagine the feeling of accomplishment as you walk into that office, the pride you feel as you look around, the sound of congratulations from colleagues, and even the tactile sensation of shaking hands with a mentor. This level of detail and emotional involvement helps to ingrain the visualization into your subconscious mind, making it more powerful. Visualization is not a passive act, it requires an active engagement of your emotions. It's about feeling the joy, the excitement, the satisfaction that comes with the realization of your vision. Emotions serve as the energetic force that drives the manifestation process. If you can generate the feelings of success, fulfillment, and gratitude while visualizing your goals, you are creating a magnetic force that attracts the circumstances and people needed to bring your vision to life. Visualization is more than just seeing something in your mind's eye. It's about aligning your energy with what you desire. By consistently practicing this mental exercise, you strengthen your belief in the possibility of achieving your goals. This belief, in turn, activates a chain of events in your life that brings you closer to those outcomes. The act of visualizing reinforces your conviction that the future you imagine is not only possible but inevitable. This conviction sets the stage for the actions you take and the decisions you make. Visualization also helps us overcome the limitations that we often place on ourselves. By vividly imagining success, we begin to dissolve any doubts or fears we may have about our abilities. It expands the possibilities of what we believe is achievable, pushing past the boundaries of what seems realistic. The more we practice visualization, the more we develop an unwavering confidence in our potential. We begin to see obstacles not as insurmountable challenges, but as temporary stepping stones on the way to our goals. The beauty of visualization lies in its ability to influence our mindset on both conscious and subconscious levels. On a conscious level, we are actively directing our thoughts and emotions toward our desires. But more importantly, we are also planting seeds in our subconscious mind, which is constantly working in the background to bring our vision to fruition. The subconscious does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It reacts to the thoughts and images we repeatedly impress upon it, treating them as truths. Over time, this influence shapes our beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors in ways that align with our visualized goals. When embarking on any technique that requires mental discipline, the most important element is consistency. It's not enough to visualize once, to engage in the mental practice briefly, and expect immediate results. Real change, particularly the kind that alters the fabric of your reality, requires sustained effort. It is through repetition and persistence that true transformation occurs. This is not a superficial practice, it is a deeply rooted one. To truly see change, you must commit to doing this technique day after day, even when the results do not show up instantly. The human mind tends to work in patterns. When we begin a new mental exercise, the mind may resist. Doubts arise and the old habitual ways of thinking will attempt to resurface. This is the mind's natural inclination to protect the known, the familiar. But growth happens when you push beyond the familiar, beyond the mental limitations that have previously defined you. By committing to this technique and practicing it consistently, you begin to break free from the old thought patterns and beliefs that limit your experience. The process of persistence does not mean forcing yourself to think positive thoughts in a mechanical or artificial way. Instead, it is about training the mind to remain focused on the desired outcome, despite external circumstances or the flow of ordinary life. When you engage in consistent practice, you rewire your brain, much like a muscle that grows stronger with regular exercise. The more you use the technique, the more natural it becomes, and the more effectively it shapes your experience. In a world where instant gratification is often expected, it's important to recognize that real, lasting change takes time. The law of cause and effect operates in all areas of life. When you plant a seed, it does not grow into a tree overnight. Similarly, when you plant a mental seed in your imagination, it needs time to grow, to take root, and eventually to bear fruit. Just because you do not immediately see results does not mean that the technique is not working. In fact, it may be working in ways that are not immediately visible, preparing the ground for the manifestation to unfold. Persistence also involves faith, the faith that the mental images and feelings you are cultivating now will eventually make their way into your physical world. If you are not consistent, it is like planting a seed and digging it up every day to check if it has grown. This interruption prevents the natural process from taking place. Similarly, when you are not persistent with your practice, your mind wavers and your focus becomes scattered. This scattered focus dilutes the effectiveness of your efforts, making it harder to see any real change. Being persistent in this technique requires patience as well. Patience is not passive waiting, it is the active belief in the unseen, the confidence that the changes you desire are taking shape, even when you cannot yet see them. It is through this unwavering commitment that the manifestation process accelerates. The universe responds to consistent and patient focus, aligning events, opportunities, and people in your favor as you continue to practice with determination. Persistence means making this technique a part of your life. It becomes not just something you do for a few minutes each day, but a way of thinking, feeling, and living. With each passing day, your belief strengthens, your imagination becomes sharper, and the bridge between your mental images and your physical reality shortens. This is where the magic lies, not in the quick fixes, but in the quiet, consistent practice of visualizing, believing, and living as if your desires are already realized. The more you persist, the more you will begin to experience the results of this technique, and with every success, no matter how small, your faith and belief in the process will grow stronger.